Welcome to the Savanh Family Show. And these four little words play such a big role in our lives, right? They either hold us back or they allow us to break through and move forward. So fear. What is fear to you? Is it forget everything and run, or face everything and rise? Let's find out. So, the big question is this. How do married couples like us, who have busy schedules, run high-performing businesses, face challenges daily, raise multiple children,
and yet still remain in love, passionate, and happy like when we first dated?
That is the question, and this show will give you the answers.
Welcome to the Savanh Family Show.
Master your relationship, your life, and your business now. Hey, if this is your first time, again, we just wanted to welcome you. My name is C. Savanh, and this is my beautiful wife, my angel, my queen, Phyllis Savanh.
Hi, how's everyone doing today?
Yes, and today, hey, we're back onto our Why Do Couples Fight and How Can You Stop It series, and this is episode 5. And episode 5 really has a lot to do with fear, right? And how fear can actually play such a big role, actually. Just like I said, there are four little words, but they play such a big role in our lives. And fear, you know, when you look at fear, there's either the acronym of it is either, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So just very similar to stress. How do you handle fear? Fear is not the problem, it's how you handle it.
Yes.
Right? Just like stress, people say that stress is actually bad, but reality, stress is not. It's how you handle stress. It's how you react to stress, right? So I shared a story a while ago about, stars or A players on basketball teams or football teams and how they handle stress, right? When the game-winning shot is on the line, or the game-winning throw, or the game-winning catch, or the game-winning kick, it doesn't matter. What they do is they go back to the huddle. They say, "Coach, draw the play up for me." Right? Yes. That's a stressful moment, stressful time, stressful situation, but yet they want the ball. Yes. Does that make sense? So it's really how you handle it. So fear is exactly the same thing. How do you handle fear, and how does fear apply to relationships? Right? How how you guys both handle as an individual and together fears that come up. Let's be pretty honest here. In a relationship, we all have a level of fear, right? Whether it's fear, we want to move forward and love the partner, unconditionally flood and give, and then fear because you want to hold back because you might be giving too much, right? Or you might be feeling demanding too much, or clingy too much, or providing too much, or doing more for the relationship than you're receiving, right? You're giving more. Yes. So there's a level of fear, and realistically, have you guys ever seen? You ever watched figure skating, right? Mm-hmm. Think about a couple that's on the ice, how beautiful it is, the ebbs and flows of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, when they're together.
Yes.
Right? When they're together, they're going with the music, right? Right? And this is how you really should handle fear. When they're not together, what do you see? They're still flowing with the music. Does that make sense? So it's such a beautiful thing to see, right? So relationship, when dealing with fear, is exactly the same way. When you're together, got to deal with just like the ebbs and flows, just like a figure skating couple would on ice. But then when they're together, but when you hear the music and you see them, they're still flowing really nice, beautifully together, right? So fear plays a huge part in our lives and in our relationships. So let's figure out how to handle them. So babe, thoughts on that?
I think, same thing, just like what you said. And it really reminds me about that episode that we did yesterday about intimacy, don't keep count. I think that a lot of time we have fear of that our partner doesn't give us more, the same amount as what we give them. So, the fear sets in, and then we started to measure everything, and then we started to not give because we're so afraid that, we're going to be giving them too much or too little. And then again, sometimes you're also afraid that, you're not enough or you're not loved, and you just immediately, cut down things that you're supposed to do, and you just went into a default mode, which is protecting yourself. and then that's just not really healthy for the relationship.
Yes, totally. So today we're going to be, the topic today is how to kill the fear in a relationship, right? So episode 5 is how to kill the fear in a relationship. And guys, if you have not seen our previous videos, please watch them. This is episode 5, so there's 4 more. And we're going to go to, probably another 4 more episodes of this particular series. And, so be on the lookout for the next video as well. And then if you like this video, right, and hit the like button and comment, share with us. When we share with you our story and how we handle fear, maybe share with us. We'd love to get to know you, get to know what you're going through and how we can help you overcome it. And then if you like this video, share it with somebody, where if you believe that somebody you love really needs to hear this, please share us as well. And then hit the subscribe button, so this way when we're on live like this or upload new videos, you guys will receive alerts every single time. So
yes, and again, talking about fear, right? I when we wwere working with couples, a lot of time, the fight really started because of fear. Again, just like what I said, fear of not being loved. So since you feel like, man, they might not love me because of this situation, so I'm just gonna act upon it first. You know what? Forget about it. Screw it. I'm just going to walk away. And the reason why you're walking away is you're just actually afraid that they're going to tell you that they're not going to love you. But the problem is you started by reacting to it first and walk away before they even get a chance to say yeah or nay. So I think that's just a very, it's a crazy cycle. That's what I call it, a crazy cycle, because, hey, you are reacting out of fear of not getting the love. But then you actually are the first one that take the love away first.
Right.
So that's why, that's just the reason why I think one of the top reason why couple always fight. I mean, have you run into this situation where, you're just not in a good mood and you're kind of, if you really think deep down, you're actually afraid that they're going to say no to you, or you're going to afraid that they're going to say something that you don't want to hear. So, instead of waiting for it, you just react upon it and walk away first. Yeah. So that way, at least, quote unquote, you're not going to get hurt. But either way, you're getting hurt. Yeah.
So, men when they react with anger, a lot of times it is fear. It's fear within them. So the only way that they know how is to express outward. And a lot of times the express outward is, your really energy, right? Your energy is in motion at that point, right? And it comes out as anger. So here are the 2 tips that we want to share with you. First one is share your fears with your partner, right? So especially right now, my brothers and sisters out there, look, right now with the pandemic, the world where it's at, even if your family in your business career, your family might be doing good right now. Mm-hmm. The unfortunate part is the world, most of the world is not. So even if your family doesn't have a level of worry or frustration, stress, right? Mm-hmm. The world is. So that could have an effect on your relationship as well.
Yep.
And you may not even think that, right? And until we're saying it now, where you might want to start looking at that. And, your partner might have a level of worry in them, and and a level of fear, and they're not sharing with you, right? Because you guys have you're just not used to it, right? We're not just talking about the fear within your relationship right now, but the fear that's around you. Maybe it's a good conversation, a good really strategy, just to really sit down and be like, anything going on, right? How are you feeling, right? It's very simple, because especially women, right? Women take on so much, right? I ask my wife all the time, how are you doing? Not just how are we doing, but how are you doing, right? Why? Because a lot of times, they fill up, right? They just want to fill up.
Yep.
Why? Because that's just how they're built, right? Men, that's just how they're built. And then when they get with their girlfriends, that's the reason why they get with their girlfriends, so that they can empty out. Yep. You know what I mean? So they could just and then they're all talking and they feel each other. Oh, I feel you, girl. I've been here. Oh my gosh, I felt the same way last week or yesterday. And it seems like they all have the same fears and the same issues. But in all reality, all they're doing is feeling each other, right? Yep. So being her husband, you got to feel what she's feeling, right? Yep. So just ask her, share any fears you got going on with our, anything going on in our life. As well as ask your partner, really share your fears with your partner about the relationship, if there is. So building up over time is not very healthy. So it's always good to share.
Yes, especially the men out there, if you do have fears, it's okay to share with your partner,
Yes.
because that will allow you to show the vulnerability, to show that you trust, your wife to help you go through this together. A lot of time, men, you just want to be the tough guy, right? Always the tough guy. And then pretty soon you realize that you're starting to build a wall.
Yes.
And then we couldn't connect anymore because, you just keep everything towards yourself. And sometimes, we might not be able to help you. However, once in a while, it's okay for us to kind of collaborate with you, interact with you. And you never know, maybe there's another, just a aha moment that we brought up online and you're like, oh man, I never thought about that. Okay, let me go execute that. Or, oh, I never really think about it this way. Because again, masculine energy and feminine energy is very different. When you're, sharing your fear with each other, the relationship just getting deeper. And then again, sometimes you just need to hear another voice to figure out, what is really going on. And then again, when you share your fear, a lot of time the fear just diminish.
Yes. It could be something at work, right? Something that, maybe your company is going through some struggles right now with this pandemic, right? And they're starting to lay people off. You come home and, you might want to, share that with your partner as well. Hey, this is what's going on. We might want to be, I want to start being proactive. What do you think? What, share with them, because there is a level of a fear that I may get laid off, or I may not have a job. So I just want to us prepare. And and a lot of times, men, I do this all the time as well. I'll keep that, right. I want to be the strong man, everything. Yep. Like I'll keep that within me, and it's okay to share with your partners. Hey, I got this going on, and it's really causing some issues here within me, and yep. So we let's figure out, maybe it's something that we can work with each other on, right? Yep. So it's very, very key. So second tip that we have for you is listen to your partner's fears, right? So not only are you sharing, and in order for your partner really to want to share with you, right, and to feel safe sharing with you, the very first thing you want to do, and this goes for both partners, is really listen to your partner's fears. I asked my wife the other day, we were going to the store and we're just walking, we're buying groceries, and I turned to her and I said, honey, I believe that I really provide a really safe environment, right, for us, for you to talk, for us to talk freely, for us to be ourselves. But I don't want to just walk around assuming that I do that. So I just asked her very plain, do I? Right? Mm-hmm. I may have a feeling of making, I believe that I'm making the environment safe, yep. But do you feel that the environment's safe? Do you believe that it's safe? Yep. Right? To be able to talk, to be able to share, to be able to articulate anything, to be herself, right? Yep. Because a lot of times we assume, we walk around mm-hmm. assuming that, yes, I am doing it, and reality, sometimes it's not. And I know, because I used to do that. But now I'm more conscious of that, because I want that environment. Yes. And I want her to understand and know that that's what I want. I want that environment. And if I'm not providing that, I want to know. Yes. I want to know so I can course correct myself so that I can provide her that. And then most importantly, right? So, I provide the safe environment for us. And then she's like, well, kind of not, you know what I mean? So, and that really, it's very, very simple. So in order to create that environment though, it really takes listening to your partner's fears when they share them with you. Yep. That's very, very important, to be able to listen, to just kind of feel what they're feeling. It's very, very important. And then that really starts a safe environment. And if you're not, it's okay, right? You can correct it, right? And if you're really not providing environment, mm-hmm. if your partner says that, if that's one of the fears that they're sharing with you, let's assume that, Phyllis came to me one day and says, hey, honey, I know that you want this, and you think you are, but mm-hmm. honestly, you're not. For example, right? And she's sharing with me her fears. Yep. You want us to have a safe environment in our relationship and in yep. our business, where I can talk, be freely, I can be myself. Yep. You want that, and you feel you're doing it, but I just want to share with you, you're not. Yep. Right? And maybe not all the time. Maybe I just want to share with you, sometimes you're not. Right? Yep. And then the worst thing you could do, I could be like, what are you talking about? Right? Out of your mind. I do this. I make this effort. Right? Well, that's a polar opposite of listening
yep.
to your partner.
That's why the fight starts.
Yeah. So basically what I want to do at that point is I listen. Oh man, let me know. Tell yep. me more. Right? Tell me more. And you stand there and she's talking. And that's her storm, right? She's storming, right? And that's like I said in another episode, women are like weather, right? Some days are going to be, sunny, right? Birds chirping everywhere. And then just a few minutes later, she's storming, right? Raining and lightning bolts coming out of her eyes, right? And hurricanes and tornadoes. And what they're looking for, gentlemen, is for you to stand there, weather the storm, like a tornado's coming and, hurricane's coming, tsunami's coming. You're standing there and you're staring there. And then all of a sudden you say, tell me more, right? Tell me more. That's what she wants to hear. And she says, wow, look at this guy. I'm throwing all kinds of, stuff at him, right? It's kind of like that movie, tornado movie where the flies are flying through the air, right? I'm throwing everything at him and then all he can do is look at me and say, tell me more. And that's really what she's looking for. Does that make sense? So that's creating an environment that's safe. That is listening to your partner's fears. And then women have the same perspective as well when your husband shares with you, right? So.
Yeah, so I think that, just to be fair with all the women out there, all the sisters out there, men, you guys storm too. Don't sound like it's only out there storming. You guys storm all the time too. We don't bring it up as much either. But the key is, when each other are being at the low state or vulnerability state and when they're sharing with you, just don't try to fix. Because again, they are at the vulnerability side, treat them like your children. When your children is down and they're telling you more stuff, would you trying to fix them? Would you trying to get emotional towards it? Are you trying to, start a fight because of it? Just allow them to, vent it out, voice it out, whether it's male or female, we should all have equal, quality on that. And again, if you practice on just accepting everything that they say without fixing it, until the fixing moment come, the other person is like, wow, this is feeling really good. I might want to learn from you and do that with you when next time you do the same thing.
Yes.
Right? So in that way, again, then you're going to stop fight. Again, when you're feeling fearful, the first thing you want to do is most likely you wanted to fight it out, but don't. Just allow the vulnerability shows up and talk to your partner in a good way. And then, solve the problem together. Yeah,
in relationships and work as well, right? Since we're both business partners and life partners, Ken Blanchard said it best, right? A lot of times in these type of moments, the other partner, he calls it zapping, right? So you share something, you get zapped. Well, if you get zapped all the time, you're not going to want to share,
yep.
Right? And then at the same time, when you're sharing with your fears and you're not listening, and instead of listening, you do what he calls the seagull management, right? Where you come in, you make a ton of noise, poop all over the place like a seagull, and then take off, right? Seagull management. So, you can have that in your relationship as well. So when you're not listening, that's kind of how your partner feels. Like every time they come to you, they feel zapped. Every time they come to you, you're like a seagull, right? Just coming, making a ton of noise and pooping all over the place and just leaving, right? So ultimately, you want to create a safe environment. You want to kill fear from your relationship. Again, these guys, that's our topic today. This is part of our Why Do Couples Fight series, and how can you stop it? You can stop it by killing the fear in your relationship. And the two ways of doing that is, one, share your fears with each other, with your partner. And then as the other partner is sharing, do listen. It's very, very important to listen, because you can assume all day that you're providing a safe environment. And you can say it all day that you want to, but you really want to do it. Right? You really should do it. And I really... Yes. In our relationship, this is really one thing that I really strive for in our relationship. Yep. Is I will say it, right? Yep. I will think it, I will say it, but ultimately I want that result. I want her to feel safe, to be able to share with me, and same thing with my children. And this goes for your children as well, right? Yes. Your employees as well, right? Yes. So if you have that mindset, that belief in you that you want that type of environment, then you're going to say it, and then ultimately you're going to act it out and do it and take action. And when you do it, man, it's amazing, because then your kids will come to you and they'll share anything with you. Right, yes, your wife,
and
your
I just
employees.
want to add another tip into it too, just like what he's talking about just now with the seagull management. Please do not have that story in your head every single time they come to you.
Totally.
That is a number one reason why we fought at the very beginning, because whenever I wanted to share my fear, he's like, oh man, there she go again. She's trying to seagull all over the place. Like, I'm shitting all over the place. Please do not have those mindset.
Totally.
If you do have that mindset, make sure that you kill that monster when it's young. Because again, we're just coming to you to share our fear with you.
Yes.
We're not trying to come come here and shit all over the place and fly away.
Yes.
So make sure, you know, you stop that monster when you're young. Change that story and say that, well, she trusts me, she loves me. That's why she comes to me.
Yes.
So I just want to add that to you real quick. And here is the summary of the video today.
Yes, so share your fears with your partner, and then listen to your partner's fears are the two tips that we gave you today. And the topic today, guys, is, again, killing the fear in the relationship, okay? So why do couples fight, and how can you stop it series? So, again, see you guys. We love you very much. Thank you very much for watching our show here, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. We love you very much. If you like this show, subscribe now.
Remember, mastery starts here.
See you on the next show.